My name is Cameron Turnbow, and I am the Senior Director of Customer Success here at Closed. Today, I'm with Jenny Lowenthal from SmartBear. Jenny, welcome. Jenny, if you wouldn't mind, give us a quick introduction to you and your role at SmartBear.
Sure, I'm very excited to be here. My name is Jenny Lowenthal. I'm a Senior Director of Product Marketing at SmartBear. A little bit about SmartBear: we have products across the software development lifecycle, from API lifecycle management to developer observability and to test automation and management.
Okay, Jenny, so the first question I have for you, as a product marketer, and as you think of your day-to-day role, what value has win-loss analysis brought to you in your role?
Yeah. So our products are very technical, and the market is quickly evolving. So I really rely on customer insights to help us guide our positioning and go-to-market strategy. They're really invaluable when it comes to that. And as a PMM, I'm constantly translating customer needs, product direction, sales execution. So win-loss is something that really helps us cut through the noise there. I think of win-loss like a compass. It doesn't tell you where to go, but it tells you if you're drifting off course. So it really helps us understand, do we need to refine our positioning? Helps us just internally come together as stakeholders and ask the right questions. Where are we losing? Where can we hone in on our messaging, refine our positioning, and of course, our product direction.
Yeah, I like that analogy of the compass. Really make sure we're always dialed in, and if we need to make any adjustments, then it's not.
Yeah, and it helps us just validate our hypotheses.
Awesome. You said something interesting specifically with validating some of the things that you know. Talk to me a little bit more about that. Using win-loss analysis, how do you validate certain things that you see as challenges, other things that you see as potentially strengths of your product, your product strategy?
Yeah, so I have two there where it's really helped us validate, and also something that we thought was an assumption that wasn't confirmed. So for one of our products, we had thought that pricing was a blocker for us. Our sales team had some anecdotes here and there. We knew just from competitive research that our pricing was a little bit different. But really, these interviews that Closed helped us do was understanding that we were actually losing deals based on our pricing and packaging. We were before just scared to make such a big change to our pricing without actually having the data to back it up. But having multiple customer quotes across different verticals really gave us the confidence that we needed to make that change. And another example where it really helped us sort of invalidate our assumptions was with one of our more legacy tools, where our ICP is in highly regulated industries. This product already had a lot of AI in it, and there was AI in the roadmap. But we thought that given our ICP, they wouldn't be the biggest hand raisers for adopting AI. So we weren't really leaning into that message as much as we could have. But the interviews really helped us uncover that not only is this something that they're excited about, it was a prerequisite for them. So that really we were able to quickly update our messaging, include, in every webinar we were doing, every leading with it in some of our ad copy even, just to confirm that, it was already in our product, it was already in the roadmap, but we were kind of hesitant to really lead with that ICP.
Yeah, it's amazing just having that confidence, whether it's, like you said, to validate it or invalidate it, exactly. How important that is to move forward.
Yeah.
So Jenny, one area of a win-loss program that I think is super interesting is working with the sales team. Talk to me a little bit about what the benefits of win-loss analysis you've seen, specifically with newer reps or getting reps up to speed. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah. We have a pretty young sales team, so there's a lot of turnover there. A lot of that institutional knowledge does not carry over. So really, these interviews are giving us the real-world examples that we can use to help with objection handling, to help gather competitive intelligence for the battle cards that we give them, to refine our messaging for sales. So really where it helps kind of cut through a lot of the noise, give more clarity and life to what our sales team is using.
So Jenny, one thing that we hear often is that interviews don't always have hard data, right? It's much more qualitative insights. Talk to me about your experience working with qualitative insights. How have those helped conversations internally at SmartBear?
Yeah. So it's true, there's not a large data set when it comes to some of these qualitative interviews, but doesn't make it any less powerful. What makes the qualitative so effective is how specific and how human it is. So it doesn't just tell you, it tells you the whole story, not just that you lost, but how did the customer, what were their expectations? Did we meet their expectations? Did our position land? So really, it tells that whole story. And gives you a lot of nuance that's lost when, in a CRM, when you're choosing a close loss or a close won reason. So it's really those insights in the customer voice that are very impactful. So it's, there's a lot of power in the data, but even more power when it's the customer voice and those quotes that you can use.
Yeah. You mentioned a little bit earlier that SmartBear is a pretty AI focused organization. Obviously, AI is everywhere right now. How have you seen AI help develop your win-loss program and take that to the next level?
Yeah, so I mentioned, some of our products have AI. We're really leaning into that as being a differentiator, across SmartBear with our Halo AI product. But we're actually, from a marketing team, we're using AI a ton, whether it's from our own research and content creation. But what we've been able to do with a lot of these closed interviews is use AI to create de-identified case studies. So we've been able to supplement our case studies, tenfold. We'll of course go back to the customer if we want to use their logo and get their permission. But even without that, we're able just to quickly feed the interview to AI and give some questions and be able to churn out a lot more content than we'd be able to do otherwise.
So Jenny, last question. In your role as a product marketer, what advice would you have for other product marketers that are trying to take their win-loss program to the next step?
Yep. I would just say, don't wait for the perfect playbook. Just get started and get the interviews coming in. And really just once you get those insights, don't stop at the insights. You need to really take those insights into actions. So what we do at SmartBear is after we've completed a project, we'll get all of our internal stakeholders together, and product marketing will come with our findings, and we'll actually create role-specific recommendations and action items. So for product, what is maybe that has some reprioritization? For sales, perhaps it's refining their pitch. For marketing, perhaps it's pricing and packaging, or our positioning and messaging, and really coming with specific action items and then following up on those action items. So I think it's really taking the insights into actions of what really makes a powerful win-loss program.
Yeah, I love that. I love how you said even helping them see what those action items are, so they makes it easy for them. Excellent. Well, awesome. Well, Jenny, thanks so much for your time today. This has been a great conversation, and we wish you the best of luck in your win-loss program.
Great. Thanks, Cam.